And I think it's only natural that we kick this thing off with my very own story as to where the passion pursuit began.
Welcome to the Passion Pursuit podcast. I'm your host, Haley Thomas, and I'm obsessed with helping you create a business that supports the life you dream about. I'm a multi-passionate creative who let her curiosity take her down the unconventional path of entrepreneurship. I have worked with many entrepreneurs just like you who desired to make an impact and an income by doing what lights them up. Get ready to learn about the strategies, shifts, and stories that will equip and inspire you to take action. This is the space where dreams become reality.
Hey guys, welcome to the Passion Pursuit podcast, the first official episode. I am so excited that you are here. I am your host, Haley Thomas, and I am a business strategist who helps entrepreneurs get from where they are to where they want to go, whether that be starting a brand new business or scaling the business to the next level. I have a way of coming in, finding the gaps, breaking down the goals, and making things happen. This podcast is a dream of 4 years in the making, and I am thrilled that it's finally happening. I've created this podcast because not only do I want to let you in on my own entrepreneurship journey, but I want to bring the tips and the value and the content directly to you. This podcast is going to be packed with loads of value as well as stories from myself and other passionate entrepreneurs because it's important when you're in this space to know that you're not alone on this journey. And I think it's only natural that we kick this thing off with my very own story as to where the passion pursuit began. To paint the picture or set the scene, I'll describe to you who I am as a person first. I am incredibly multi-passionate. I always did more than one thing growing up, and that still rings true today. Back in the day in high school, you could find me in every choir, every school play, musical, every type of dance. Even my freshman year of high school, I remember running back and forth between volleyball tryouts and musical auditions. And for those who are wondering, theater won. That definitely took over my life in the best way. And today, you can find me running between helping my clients to teaching hot yoga locally and taking singing lessons. Another thing about me that you'll come to find out is I'm someone who truly cares for people. Empathy and compassion are strengths of mine. And because of this, I'm always trying to see how we can do things better for the good of people. From ideas in business to how we speak to clients, all the way to communication in our marketing. I am definitely of the mindset of a people-first business. And lastly, I am a giant dreamer, like head in the clouds type of dreamer. Always have been, always will be. I'm someone who loves to sit in a state of possibility. I love to try new things. I love creating and thinking about new ideas. And honestly, when I was younger, some called it being naive, but I would say that my curiosity and passion has served me well. I truly mean it when I say that anything is possible when you have clarity and determination. What I will say though, is I didn't always believe in this idea for myself. Back in the day, I actually had dreams of pursuing music and theater, and senior year rolled around and I let myself get in my own way out of pure fear that I would fail. I decided to pivot and I picked a major that I ended up resenting. I hated it. It really, really sucked the joy out of my day to day. And I'll never forget those years feeling so isolated, seeing everyone around me with so much passion about their journey and what they were doing. And I felt so stuck in this place that I felt I should be in. After all, we're told to go to school, pick a major, and pursue this career up the corporate ladder. That is success. And for me, it never felt aligned. It never fulfilled me. But I didn't know what else to do at the time. Entrepreneurship wasn't even on my radar until junior year of college rolled around. Junior year, I was introduced to a network marketing company. And as a broke college kid, this was the answer to my prayers, you guys. I could work when I wanted, I had a little stream of income, and I got to learn from some of the most incredible entrepreneurs who were in and outside of this company. What I never expected, though, was by the end of the first year of being in this company, I took it to the top 1%. I treated it like a business, and I learned that entrepreneurship could actually be a path for me. I ended up taking it outside of college and pursuing it full time. I coached many passionate creatives who desired to do something on their own time by making an impact and an income. But through the years, I started to feel like something was missing. At the end of the day, what I realized was we were all still within the box of what we feel we should do, not really creating from the place of our own dreams and visions. Now that brings us to around 2018 or so. I was driving home from the gym when out of the blue, I was hit with this massive idea. It was like this little voice whispered in my ear and was like, you are going to create a space for people to build their businesses from the ground up. Something that brings them joy, something that comes from within, not on the premise of another company's building blocks. And the first question was, okay, like that sounds great. And how? Like, I only have so much knowledge I could work with. Where do I even start with ideas here? Who am I to do this? And that's probably a question, especially if you're a beginning entrepreneur, that is coming to mind right now. Who am I to do this? But my friends, we all have to start somewhere, right? So that's exactly what I did. I started small, like baby steps small, but I started. I was down in Florida in around 2019 visiting my grandpa when I got the idea of the passion pursuit written down on paper for the very first time. I had just spent the day with my grandpa, who was a passionate Marine that served our country for over 30 years. Hearing his passion for what he did inspired me. Like, what if we could all speak this way about the work that we do in this world? And I realized that this was the foundation of the passion pursuit. This was the whole point. So I took that inspiration, I grabbed a piece of paper, and I made a bubble diagram laying out all of the ideas of what the passion pursuit could turn into. I wasn't thinking about the how, I wasn't thinking about what steps to take first. I was just simply imagining what if. If anything were possible, what could I create from this? And fun fact, that bubble diagram still hangs in my office to this day. And just a few years later, it is wild to see all that has come to life. In this season, I started to slowly put myself out there. I did social media for a gym. I did email marketing for a wine bar. I did everything I could using the skills that I had to make a difference while simultaneously being a sponge. You guys, I was soaking up everything that I could on entrepreneurship, building a business, marketing one, everything you could think of. If I was in my car, I was listening to podcast after podcast nonstop. If I had downtime at night, I was reading books, watching courses, doing everything that I could do to learn what I needed to do that would help Passion Pursuit come to life. Now, was it start and stop those first 2 years? Absolutely. Starting something from the ground up is no small feat. I had so many doubts internally. I had opinions and questions from others outside of my family. I had this constant question internally as, where the heck do I even begin? I have this massive vision. I have all of these ideas, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what to prioritize. But what I will tell you is, even through all of that questioning and doubts and this battle of, should I do this? Should I do that? One thing stayed true, and that was my belief in this vision. That brings us to March of 2020, right before the world shut down. I had just made a huge investment on myself to have the opportunity to learn from some of the best in the industry. Jenna Kutcher, Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins. And through this mastermind, I was a part of a community that was filled with like-minded people who were also pursuing businesses of their own. Having that community and accountability was a game changer for me when it came to just taking the leap and doing the dang thing. In that program, I created my first free offer. I got my email list all set up. I did a whole video series. I interviewed some of the people that I admired and looked up to for years. And I even began to coach other people in the start of their own businesses. And the best part through this, I had the opportunity to learn one-on-one from Jenna Kutcher, which was absolutely unreal. And things really, really snowballed from there. By 2021, we had kicked off the new year and I was determined to leave the job that I had at the time. At this point, I was already coaching and consulting with several business owners. I was collaborating with other people. We were creating retreats. We were creating masterminds. I was doing all of these different aspects that I had just dreamed up a few years before this. I said, I'm going to go full-time with the Passion Pursuit by the end of this year. And by February 17th, I put my 2 weeks in. One thing had led to another, and I had the income to be able to completely say goodbye to my 9-to-5. What a whirlwind. These last few years have taught me anything. It is that the dreams that are in your heart are there for a purpose, but it is up to you to take action on them. And that's where I hope this podcast serves you. I hope this podcast inspires you that you too can create the life of your dreams. Because my friends, when you allow yourself to go there, you never know what can come from it. I can now confidently say that I'm living the life that I dreamed up just a few years ago. I'm working for myself full-time, pouring into the most creative clients who are making an impact and an income in their own way. I'm married to my best friend, and if we're not at home snuggling with our cats, we're traveling the world together and dreaming bigger than ever before. I'm making time and space for the things that bring me joy, like yoga and music and spending time with family. I've connected with some of the most inspiring people and continue to be in awe of the communities that I get to be a part of. I'm dreaming bigger than ever before. And this is all possible for you. I see this podcast as really being the place where you can see just how possible it is for you to live and create the life of your dreams. A lot of times we ask ourselves these questions when it comes to a dream of, well, what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? Who am I to do this? What if I fumble? You guys, even starting this podcast today, recording this first episode, I had so much resistance to record this. What if I totally fumble on my words and make a fool out of myself? But the other side of that, the other question to this is, what if it all worked out? What if you actually did the thing? What if your life became an example of the vision that you saw in your head? What if that became your reality? We as business owners and creatives a lot of times are sitting on our own little island trying to figure out all of these things by ourselves. But I hope that when you hear this podcast, you know that you're not alone on this journey, that you really do have the support here in the process. And by listening, you have me. Whether that's by listening to this podcast or dropping me a DM on Instagram, I really mean it when I say that I want to get to know who you are, what you want to create, the business that you want to build, and the dreams you want to pursue. I am so excited that you are here. Consider me your new biz bestie, and I am throwing confetti your way, celebrating you on this journey with me. The best is yet to come. See you on the next episode, my friend.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Passion Pursuit podcast. If you loved this, head on over and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes drop every week. I can't wait to hang out with you again soon.